An important behavior for being an effective teacher is kindness. I don't think enough teachers are kind enough or patient enough. And particularly in situations where you have students who tend to be more challenging. And I think patience is definitely something that needs to be emphasized, because in order to be an effective teacher, one has to have a variety of ways of teaching to cater to every kind of student. A practice of an effective teacher is being able to be a good storyteller. I dabble in screenwriting, and I've also had my master's in creative writing, and a lot of that information, skill set of being a writer is obviously being able to tell a story. And as a teacher, one has to be able to tell stories about the material that one is sharing in order to make it interesting and palatable to the student. And finally, one of the most important characteristics of a good teacher is knowledge.
You start talking.
All right. One has to have expertise in the field that they're teaching in order to convey the information in a confident manner. Done. So what I personally bring to the profession of teaching is I have always looked at myself as a lifelong student. I feel that I can bring a certain enthusiasm to my classroom because I'm a very curious person. I want to learn about the world and I want to learn about different things. What I bring to teaching is I have several years as a formal and informal instructor in a variety of backgrounds. I did human resources for a number of years. I worked as I volunteered as a docent for several organizations, including an aquarium in Tennessee and organizations that worked around issues of child abuse and domestic violence and refugees. I was also an adjunct professor in a community college for massage therapy. I worked as a massage therapist for a total of 9 years, and for 2 of those years I was a teacher where I taught all aspects of the massage program, not just technique but also anatomy and physiology and pathology. So I do have several years of significant classroom experience. Well, what I wanted to accomplish while in the program and after completion is to first and foremost meet my peers from all over the world. I think there'll be great opportunity for us to learn from each other. I want to learn certain techniques to enhance my teaching style so that I can become a better educator. And my ultimate goal is to eventually be able to move overseas and teach on a university level, and also at some point possibly get into curriculum development. Only schools or have trouble in schools for several reasons. One of those is most likely lowered expectations, and those would probably be the lowered expectations of the people who are unfortunately teaching these certain students. Okay, for example, a child who comes from the inner city who may not have the best family background hasn't necessarily been able to have the foundation for that fundamental early education. Okay, a child may go into the classroom with a teacher who might be unwilling to see their potential because of preconceived notions of who that student is and their background. And it's very important for a teacher, no matter what background they're in, to always see their students' potential and always nurture that. Okay.
All right, so.
And I also think students fail because there's a lack of understanding of how people learn. Some people are more auditory learners, some people are more visual learners, and some people are more tactile learners. And unfortunately, in our current educational system, there is, I think, an overemphasis on the auditory and the visual learner, but not necessarily the tactile learner. So those students tend to miss out.